What the fuck is happening, fam? It is your boy, the Sultan of Sativa, the Ayatollah of Indica, aka the Bobby Fischer of BHO, aka the Gordon Ryan of Ganja, aka the Hickson of Hashish, aka the Holy Hashashin, aka Ned Sparks, aka Johnny Hash, aka Donald Blunt, aka Abraham Lincoln, aka Willie the Cool Penguin, aka Lord Bongtimore, and I'm here with another brand spanking new episode of your favorite, the number one canna podcast on the fucking planet. Let's Toke About It, and I welcome you to a brand spanking new episode. What is up, fam? I feel like I ain't been around a lot. I've been living my life. I'm ready. I got a different energy drink than I normally have. I just couldn't turn down the dollar energy drinks on the weekend at Vitamin Shop. You know, this week it was bucked up. This flavor is Miami. God, it tastes fucking. I was expecting like a pina colada flavor. I think that's what they're trying to do here, but honestly, it tastes like a bad amoxicillin. Bucked up, you got work to do. Bucked up, you done fucked up. I did have a couple of new flavors of Ghost I was pretty impressed with. One was it was like Phase Up, and I am a fan of the Phase Pop. Pretty much anything that's a firecracker pop, bomb pop flavor, I'm all about it. All about it. But I've been living life. You know, really just taking some time. Out here fucking busting my ass, trying to fucking grind it out, build this fucking business up, and hopefully be finishing up the season to opening up our residential recovery house shortly after our outpatient. I know. For those of you who are watching the video, you may see that I'm in the garage. It's actually like only, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which normally I'm recording at 11 p.m., 10 p.m. Sometimes after the kiddos are asleep. It's Sunday, the Lord's Day. Got a Patreon call tonight. Hopefully y'all motherfuckers show up. I know my homie Green Street will probably be there, and him and I will be chopping it up. You know, it's cool. If nobody's there, then I'll usually share a little message, record it, post it up in the Patreon. If someone's there, and we chop it up and we grow and we build. You know, it's important, man. You know, I'm on a mission. I want to build this group up. Like I said, we do 3 calls a month. Topics ranging anywhere from kind of recovery related, growth, personal development, funds, survival skills, plans, accountability. Kind of a men's group, but that's only because there's no women. But it's not that women are excluded. Come on in. For now, anyway, I'm adding some new stuff to my Patreon. It's gonna be, I'm posting up a bunch of shit in there that are, you know, things that I think are important. I've been kind of on my sovereign shit. My sovereign citizen shit. Just learning how to take control of myself, you know, really trying to understand freedom and what is required and how to utilize the bullshit system that we are a part of, that we have to, keep playing this fucking game. How can I learn the rules and really get after it? You know, because when I think about what my goals and ambitions are, and as much as that revolves around the freedom from active addiction, one day at a time, but really the goal for me is freedom all the way around. You know, I wouldn't say I'm a tax protester. I do think that we are taxed at unreasonable rates. I think the tax code has gotten so crazy and convoluted and really turned into a shit show, and we don't know what our rights are. We don't know what we're supposed to fucking contribute. We don't know the jargon. We don't know what words mean, and we think we do, but we don't. And at least we don't know what they mean and the ways that they're using them. And it's a pretty murky thing to navigate, to be honest. I've been really studying for like the last I don't know, 4 months. And it just seems like there's always more. There's a lot of theory involved. There's a lot of, well, this should work because these are the laws. But the reality is, courts don't want to expose the banking system. They'll do anything and everything they can. People that fucking run the banking system contribute to these people's campaigns. It's one hand wash the other and they both wash the face type shit. So, been posting some shit, maybe get some people's minds moving in a direction of freedom, because the more people that are doing this shit and taking control of their property, personal property, the better, right? The more we can figure out what works, what doesn't work, how to navigate this system, you know? Really think it's important, especially as we continue in the downfall and decline of America. I'm still a huge believer that things are going to turn out great, but that really does involve people taking control of their own lives, mind, body, and spirit, getting right with God, in my opinion. This is just my plan of action, really entails getting right with God, teaching my kids the right things, making my body stronger, making my mind stronger, tougher, taking in more knowledge, working towards a path where I'm helping others in every possible way. And I hope to set the example for some people. And not just here in America, but fucking everywhere. I will tell you, as somebody getting into the recovery realm, I don't like when I read shit like this. I saw an article, Fox Baltimore. Baltimore man allegedly kills a recovery house manager over required urine test. The man who was arrested for stabbing to death a recovery house manager in West Baltimore on Tuesday reportedly committed the violent act after learning that he had to take a urine test, according to investigators. Stab a dude. Charging documents accuse Harley Frost of killing 59-year-old Carl Bodine with a kitchen knife in the 1000 block of Brantley Avenue not long after learning that he had to take the test. Motherfucker was about to pee dirty and he said, I ain't doing it, man. I ain't going back out on the street, and it's honestly, to see this is kind of a good reminder that you are dealing with people, in some cases, that are sick as a motherfucker. One more reason to learn jiu-jitsu. Witnesses told investigators that Frost had a contentious relationship with Bodine, who managed the recovery house, according to court records. The two men had several verbal arguments after Frost moved into the house. One person told investigators they heard Frost and Bodine arguing between 6 and 7 a.m. on the day of the murder. Damn, started early. That person told police that Bodine had been planning to ask the director of the program to relocate Frost and address his mental health issues. Okay, so that's kind of fucked up, man. This guy clearly Harley got some shit going on. And, this 60-year-old house manager, which, I mean, maybe Frost was not the right cultural fit for the house with the 60-year-olds. There's also a link in this article. It says also read, Baltimore man charged with attempted murder after shooting at an MTA officer. Multiple people informed homicide detectives that Frost had been arguing with Bodine because he did not want to take a urine test, according to court records. They reportedly heard the argument between the two men continue around 8 a.m. About 45 minutes later, one of the other recovery house residents exited the back door of the house and saw Bodine lying on the ground. Court records state that he was bleeding from the head and neck. Damn. And that he was unresponsive. That person ran back in the house and called 911. Charging documents show that detectives found a kitchen knife with a green handle next to Bodine's head, and they also found bloody shoe prints leading away from Bodine's body and going up the stairs behind the house into the kitchen. Further investigation, first of all, I would assume that not just an addiction element. If you're going to leave the homicide, the murder weapon, right by the motherfucker's head with your prints all over it, right there, and then walk back into the house with your, what I would assume are bloody shoes. Did it say that? Yep, bloody shoe prints. That's a pretty intimate. You're stabbing somebody in the head and fucking neck. Their investigation led detectives to a pair of bloody sneakers in a bedroom on the third floor of the house. So the motherfucker went inside, Took his shoes off, left them there by his bed with his other shoes, put on some different shoes. Inside the bedroom, detectives found Frost's social security card and various pieces of mail correspondence with his name on it, according to court records. The other residents of the house informed detectives that Frost had been living in that room. And it kind of got him dead to rights there. Frost fled the house before detectives had arrived to investigate the murder, according to investigators. They found him on the 600 block of North Carrollton Ave around 3:15 p.m. Investigators noted in the charging documents that they arrested Frost because he had an outstanding warrant in Calvert County. Detectives took Frost to Baltimore PD headquarters to interview him. Frost was read his rights, which he waived both verbally and in writing, according to court records. Charging documents show that Frost confessed the murder of Bodine. He reportedly told detectives that he had killed Bodine after the recovery house manager had punched him in the chest during an argument. Yeah, okay. So 60-year-old fucking Bodine punches you in the chest and you stab him in the head and neck. Seems fair. Frost faces charges of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, first-degree assault, second-degree assault, and possessing a dangerous weapon with the intent of causing injury to another person. So here's my thing. With motherfucking Bodine, with Frost admitting to the murder of Bodine, saying he did it, here's why, he did. Why bother having a trial? He admitted to it. It's done. Give this motherfucker the death penalty. Put him out of his misery, and let's keep it moving. Why spend the next? I mean, he doesn't look that old. I mean, maybe in his 30s, probably late 20s, 30s. Why house him for another 30, 40 years, assuming he can make it that long? And just fund the prison industrial complex. Why not just knock him out of his misery, get him fucking, if he's gonna have to serve life, just kill him. Just kill him. That's it. It's a wrap. We don't need this guy anymore. He's done. Gave him the opportunity to rehabilitate. He gets punched in the chest and kills the dude over it. It's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. Wanted to bring this up. I saw a post from the old Blacklist. As somebody that's been in and around the traditional market forever, I'm telling you, this bucked up energy Miami flavor is garbage. I'm drinking it because I would like to feel the effects of it, but I'm not enjoying any of it, just so you know. No wonder that was on the dollar sale shit. They said the traditional market isn't shrinking, people just aren't smoking anymore. The caption said, remember when weed was illegal and we loved it? Yes, Blacklist, I do. I absolutely do. Remember when one hit was all you needed and bragging, mine is better than yours, was the weed snob's mantra? Yes, I do. In 2018, a little over 40% of the country had access to legal cannabis. Today, that number is closer to 70%. But it's not the number of stores in the state that matters, it's the number of customers buying legal market share that matters most. In a recent poll asking consumers where they shop, we learned that the black market consumer isn't leaving their neighborhood plug for the new neighborhood dispensary down the street. Instead, they are changing their consumption habits by choosing to not consume at all and or, in reality, choosing to grow their own. So this is an interesting statement, in my opinion, here, because I don't know what the fuck is up, but shit has definitely changed. And in Maryland, I mean, actually, I should probably go to that article too. I think I'll save it for the next episode. But I recently saw Beard Bros. Shout out to Beard Bros. Beard Bros Farms. They posted an article about Maryland creating all this revenue and helping with social equity and really paving the way. And I've been saying for a long time that Maryland has been a show me state, like a test state, kind of see what works and what doesn't. Really been like a pioneer on the East Coast, for real, with semblance of legality, regulatory, medicinal market since, I don't know, 2014, I believe. My, things have changed. The poll had 22,000 respondents and is the first poll in 6 years to reflect double-digit shrinkage in the black market consumption. We don't like shrinkage. The shrinkage in this poll reflected a 17% difference than the poll before it asking the same question. Yet, one fact remains. The amount of complaining based on propaganda and reefer madness brainwashing has reached a new threshold, and I have a massive headache. This insistence hate on the plant has to stop. So go hug your plug and thank them for their hard work. Seriously, go hug your plug and thank them for their hard work. Please, they need it. When you ask, hey plug, are you okay? They're going to tell you no. People always asking how much a G and never how is a G. Or whatever fucking the meme says. Back to the caption. Years take. Fuck you, Dan Blitzarian. Please remember, some people only started consuming when the government said it was okay, and hopefully this generation of homegrown weed won't look like actual grass. And then there's some good comments. I would highly recommend going to check it out. Blacklist always posting some good shit. Always posting the good shit. I got one more article in here, and we're gonna bring it back. I know I've read some of these Zero Hedge articles before. If you don't occasionally get on zerohedge.com, you're missing out. There's a lot of good shit. Tyler Durden is the author in most cases. So, I haven't read this article yet. I just saw the headline. I thought it was something good. I know you guys liked when we talked about the Nashville shooter before. And honestly, it was a pretty fucking crazy situation, and they didn't want to fucking give up the manifesto, and how much of these manifestos are real, and how much of them are just FBI documents that they fucking put together to plan on for the false flag. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just a fucking guy. And I'm just telling you what I think about, and you know, the shit that I'm looking at and how I look into it. So, you know, you can go and look and try and figure shit out for yourself too. You know, and if you find some shit where I'm wrong or I'm seeing it wrong, let me know. I'm not perfect, I'm fallible. I'm a man. You know, but this one, so it said, Nashville trans shooter left over 100 gigabytes of evidence. Now, 100 gigabytes is a lot. I've been watching a bunch of instructionals, and I don't even think I got 100 gigabytes worth of instructionals on there. Probably. But that we're talking about like 10 instructionals. That's a lot of gigabytes. All to be kept secret. Nashville judge Aisha Miles has decided that this apparently was authored by Ken Silva via Headline USA. So I don't know what that is or who Ken Silva is, but the victims have copyrights to the stuff in there, which would mean, what is the copyright? Interesting. I'm going to have to nerd out about this in my little America group. Hill's victims have copyrights to the material, even though the victims haven't registered with the Federal Copyright Office. The materials created by Hale are exempted from disclosure based on the Federal Copyright Act. Note to self, look up the Federal Copyright Act. Miles said, whether or not an original work of authorship has been registered with the Federal Copyright Office is germane to the amount of recoverable damages in a copyright infringement action. But it has no bearing on whether or not this state law is preempted by federal copyright law, she said. The judge also ruled that disclosing Hale's writings could inspire copycat killers. Okay. We know who inspires the copycat killers. It's the goddamn FBI. All right. It's the intelligence agencies. It's the FBI. Whew. Could inspire copycat killers, disregarding the testimony of an expert psychologist who said there's no evidence to support that copycat theory. Miles is the same judge to trample on the First Amendment by threatening a newspaper that's already published some of Hale's writings. According to Miles' Thursday ruling, the evidence held by law enforcement includes more than 100 gigabytes of data. Police have said the writings that they collected as part of their investigation into the March 27, 23 shooting at the Covenant School that killed 3 9-year-old children and 3 adult staff members are public records. However, they have said they cannot be released until their investigation is concluded. Despite law enforcement's attempt to keep the manifesto secret, the first 3 pages of the purported manifesto were leaked to conservative broadcaster Steven Crowder last November. Yeah, I remember that. Did anybody read that? I didn't. I just fucking... Steven Crowder annoys me. You hear that? For all you fucking people that say I'm some right-wing nut job, I don't like Steven Crowder, okay? He's a right-wing guy, isn't he? He's like a fucking fake conservative, or maybe he's a real conservative. I don't know. What are these people? I feel like anybody in the mainstream that has some of these huge podcasts, I don't know. I just don't know. And that's fine, right? They could be totally legit. Totally legit. But I'm suspicious of some of these, like, ex-special forces. I know I'm saying that even though Chad Wright is a friend of the Let's Talk About It podcast. He seems pretty on the up, just based on my experience. But who knows? Taco? I don't know. I'm not here to hate on anybody or speculate. And I do listen to the Jocko podcast enough. I've listened to a lot of episodes, probably at least 100 episodes, I would say, maybe more. And there's more that I will listen to. So take that for what it's worth. Let's see. The portion of the manifesto that was leaked purportedly revealed Hale, who identified as a transgender, had been planning the school shooting for years, that she deliberately targeted white privilege. There's this next word has a bunch of asterisks, so that you don't know what it is. It says CR, 4 asterisks and an X. Crackers? Maybe? Crackers. Yeah, crackers would fit there. White privilege crackers and F asterisk 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 TS faggots. She deliberately targeted white privilege crackers and faggots, I think is what it's saying here, but I can't be certain of that. Can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm ready. I hope my victims aren't, Hale wrote. My only fear is if anything goes wrong, I'll do my best to prevent any of the sort. God, let my wrath take over my anxiety. It might be 10 minutes tops. It might be 3 to 7. It's going to go quick. I hope I have a high death count. Ready to die. Like, I don't know what to think about this shit, man. It's sick. But I have a bad habit of thinking that everything is a false flag attack. Especially when it's, always the same type of individual doing this shit. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, please. I just want to understand. The more recent excerpts published by The Star reveal Hale's transgender ideation. 2007 was the birth of puberty blockers and a newfound discovery for treatment of non-conforming transgender children, Hale reportedly wrote. I'd kill to have those resources. Come the fuck on, man. Come on, man. It appears that the vast majority of Hale's writings have yet to be released. Ken Silva is a staff writer at Headline USA. Follow him at twitter.com/JDCashless. Yeah, I don't know what to think, man. It's definitely interesting, because I think about the role that something like the government program of MK Ultra has on these people. I mean, we know, well, I guess I will liberally use the word we know, but we suspect, if that's the proper word, we suspect that it's really a matter of the mind control in certain situations. I mean, at the bare minimum, look at RFK Sr. and what happened with him and how he was killed by Sirhan Sirhan. That motherfucker fell off a horse, woke up in a hospital 3 weeks later, having no recollection of what was going on. And honestly, I'm getting ready. I'm hoping I might actually be bringing another podcaster on for a little conversation. And she has created the largest resource map regarding MK Ultra survivor. I don't exactly remember the how to exactly word it, but I did look at the map a couple weeks ago, and the shit is kind of crazy. You should, if you want to check her out, her Instagram is the Emma-preneur, like entrepreneur, but Emma. You should be able to find it. Um, and I believe she also works in the cannabis industry as well. So I'm interested to hear her thoughts coming from a different state, same industry, and I honestly, I'm going to go into it with what I would like to think is a fairly unbiased mindset because I believe she works for a lab. And so I don't want to off the jump just assume it's pay for play, right? Because I also think about the people I think own this lab, and I believe that they are a company that truly stands behind uh, what they do and their core values. And I know they're definitely a part of the industry. We will see, but I'm not ruling out MK Ultra for any of these shootings. I don't care how crazy you think I am. You know, I know we're at a point where it honestly it shouldn't even matter anymore who people are, like what they believe in some cases should not be an issue at all because the reality is that, you know, there are a lot of good-hearted people that genuinely want you to win and get and see you succeed, but um, you got to put in the work. You know, you got to take the time to evaluate somebody and say, okay, I might not like this guy, but I can get down with the message. You know, and that's something that a lot of people, it takes a long time for them to figure out how to do that. And some people I'm starting to think maybe never figure it out, but you have to, right? Because if you get caught up on the tone in which someone is speaking, the thought process of like you just hear one little snippet, you can't get past that one little thing. Or I know in recovery it'd be like you go to a meeting and a guy's speaking and he doesn't quite really live the shit that he's talking about up there, and it's easy to dismiss them and say, fuck that guy, he does this, that, this or that out in the real world, and it's just sharing some Gucci shit for the meeting, when the reality is that it doesn't matter what he does outside of it. If it's something that's good, that can work, and I could implement into my own program, then I should do that. I would almost be stupid not to, right? Like, I need to be able to learn from people that I don't like or don't want to hear or don't, you know, just think they're full of shit or whatever, because that's how we grow. You got to take in different people's shit. I saw a guy. I've been seeing some wild shit. I saw a guy earlier posting some shit about Project 2025, and I can't remember if I said something about it in the last podcast. I got a couple that I need to drop. I'm gonna just drop all three of them at once. I think there's three, maybe plus this one. When uh, we look at like this post. I saw this post, and the guy was talking about Project 2025, and I don't remember all of it, but it was like every line of this picture was like Trump is going to implement Project 25, which is this, that, and it was like listing off all these things. First of all, I was surprised because like half of them are good. Like, get rid of the Department of Education, great. Get rid of the FBI, get rid of Homeland Security, great. Get rid of um, the fucking FDA, great. You know, I think there's a lot of value in getting rid of a lot of these government agencies. We have way too many regulatory bodies that don't do shit. Department of Education is fucking garbage. These curriculums in school do not teach people how to function in the real world. There's always the Rockefeller quote of, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. I'm so grateful I had a couple teachers like Herr LeBlanc and Mr. Jarrett, rest in peace, that really focused on us, instilling in us if nothing else, not to be boring, to always search for truth, and always continue to try to attain knowledge, wisdom, to watch as many movies as possible, think about cultural things, and really take a look at the world from different perspectives. And I'm grateful for the time that I spent using, because I really learned a different perspective. It's very humbling when you get people that help you out, when you're rooting around in trash cans, or people buy you food or just give you money so you can go get high without having to fucking steal some shit or risk your freedom. And that was a place that really helped put me on a path to try to better myself and constantly evaluate myself and my motives, and um, my principles, and the values that I choose to live with and really function on the day to day with. So just some things to think about. A couple articles. I'm gonna shut it down kind of early. I got some speaking to do tonight, and I might actually record another episode later this evening. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, share it with your friends, your family, your grandma, your worst enemy, whomever. Give it to them. And with that, Baltimore out.